everybody, and yesterday it was mentioned that we were going to be seeing some changes to all Titans. We kind of figured that a nerf to Sunbreakers was going to be coming, but it came as a surprise that they were going to be redoing all Titan subclasses. A lot of people said, how can they nerf my Striker? How can they nerf my Defender? And I replied with, they're probably going to get buffed, if anything. So today we got official news on what is going to be happening to every single Titan out there in the land of Destiny. And in this video, I'm going to be going through that update with you guys and also giving you my opinion along the way as I'm reading these changes to you. So if we go ahead and just jump into this really quickly, this article is really long. If you want to read the entire thing, the link will be in the description, but basically they're talking about how they go about making these changes, how they go about making subclasses, what their hopes and dreams for Titans were, and then they have some really cool data about how better Titans were doing, the thermal Titans were doing over Arc and Void, and you have just a bunch of graphs. So if you want to see this, guys, and you want to have actual evidence of how strong Solar Titans were, definitely check the article in the description below and you will be able to check out all of these things in big detail. So we're going to start here by looking at the goals and the actual changes that are going to be coming to Titans. So the Solar Titan, the goal for Solar Titans is that they're going to give other players a glimmer of hope standing against a Solar Titan in PvP, bring down the average KDR so it's closer to the ideal 1, and encourage taking alternate paths through the node tree. Because at the moment, if you are a Solar Titan, if you want to be good in PvP, there's pretty much only one build that you run, and that's pretty much it. For the Arc Titan, they want to bring average KDR up so that they are competitive with other subclasses and reinforce the Striker's hard charging melee role. So that's really interesting. And Void Titan, they're going to double down on the instant base / ready for anything combat support role. So let's see the changes that are actually coming, and I think some of them are really interesting. So Sunbreakers. Titan melee is being extended by 12.5%. So you know when you're a Titan and you're like, you can't kill anything because you have little baby T-Rex arms. That's what we call them, little baby T-Rex arms. They are making it to where Titans have a better melee range, which is needed. It was definitely needed, and that is super good. Sunstrike, they are decreasing the damage over time from 6.5 seconds to 5.5 seconds. I completely agree with that because if you've ever been hit with Sunstrike, you burn for so long. Like, you are burning until you're almost dead. It's just way too long. The super, this is the big one. Hammer of Soul, they are reducing damage resistance during the super by 9.9%, and Hammer of Soul, slower hammer travel speed. So they are decreasing that by 1.32%. Basically, what I think this damage resistance reduction, damn, that's a lot of R's, man, it's too many R's. What this is going to be doing is, I think it's going to make it to where you can one-shot headshot them with a high-impact sniper. I think you should be able to. It's pretty hard to land a headshot on a Titan with fiery flame hammers, and he's like, "Raw, I'm going to kill you," and you have to get a headshot on that guy, and then he doesn't die, and then you have to get another shot, but you can't because he's throwing hammers, and then he gets his health back, and then it's all freaking over. So I think you should definitely be able to one-shot headshot a hammer Titan. So hopefully that's going to make it to where you can do that. And they're making the hammers travel slower, so it's going to take a little bit more skill and a little bit more prediction to actually use Hammer of Soul. You're going to have to, like, predict where the people are going instead of just chucking them and like killing everything. So I think those changes are good. It's still gonna be an amazing super. It's just gonna make you have to play a little bit more carefully because right now as a Titan, I can have no health and be like, gonna pop my super, kill somebody, get my health back. It's easy. So I think that that's a really good change. I think that's a good change. We're heading in a good direction. Now moving on to the passives, Forge Master. They are reducing splash damage detonation radius by 20%. That's pretty big. Flame Seeker. They are turning down hammer tracking bonus by 25%. That's really big. Because right now hammers, if you watch them, they'll go whoop, they'll curve. They curve so much. By the way, I know my nails are messed up. They curve so much. So I think that's really good. Bringing that down and also bringing the splash damage down, I think that's good too. Flame Seeker, they are removing a +1 recovery and +1 agility stat bonuses. That's fine. Fleet Fire, they're adding +1 agility stat. Firekeeper, they're adding +1 recovery stat. Cauterize, they're adding a cooldown, which is interesting. And movement, Catapult Lift, they're giving a faster initial velocity by 5%. So at the moment, Control Jump is definitely the one that you want to be using when you're a Titan. So maybe having Catapult will have, you know, maybe we'll have a really good lift and people will use it. I don't know. I think people will always choose Control Jump, but they're trying to make it to where you actually have an option to pick other things, because other things are going to be decent. That's what I think they're going for. But I think these changes are good. The Hammer Titan did not need much of a change. They didn't need much of a change, but they definitely needed some kind of change. I think this is going to make it enough to where people have to actually think a little bit more before they pop that super and before they go running into the enemy team. You're gonna have to be a little bit more careful and a little bit more precise with your hammers. Now moving on to the Striker Titan, the melee, they have an increased melee range by 12.5%. All Titans have this increased melee. Storm Fist, increased base damage by 18.2%. That's interesting. Overload now also provides faster melee recharge by 50%. Discharge, an additional damage plus 7.69%. Discharge, changed AoE to spherical shape. Sure, okay. Amplify, increased super energy bonus by 30%. So that is quite significant buffs to Striker Titans. They're trying to make Striker Titans, like they said, they're trying to make them be the melee bosses of the Crucible. So Stormfist, which is their melee, is going to be doing probably more damage than any other melee in the game. So if you can actually melee people as a Striker Titan, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. It might actually make sense to run a strength build on Striker Titans. And they're also just changing some of the perks that are in there, adding more damage, adding a better super energy bonus as well. So that's super good. Now moving on to the passives, Headstrong now also provides faster sprint. That's super interesting. So if you actually pick Headstrong, you're going to be sprinting faster now. That's interesting. I like that change. Transfusion, they are improving the cooldown from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. Transfusion can be super good. If you're running around like shoulder charging people, Transfusion can be absolutely amazing. Unstoppable now provides a total of +2 armor, which is 1 additional armor point. Now, I think this is going to make it to where Golden Gun most certainly cannot kill Unstoppable Titans when they are supering. I think that's fine. I mean, if you are actually going to put a point into something that gives you more armor or gives you more health, I think it should be noticeable, because you're choosing to have that over something else. Like, you have to choose that over Shoulder Charge, right? I'm pretty sure that's in the same tree, Unstoppable and Shoulder Charge. So you're choosing to pick that. I think you should actually get the benefit of it. Unstoppable also has their damage resistance increased by 25%. Juggernaut has improved shield health by +14.3%, and Juggernaut now works when airborne. So Juggernaut was kind of a really useless perk, because as soon as you stopped, it would go away. If you were in the air, it wouldn't work when you were in the air, so it was pretty useless. Like, almost nobody ever used it. So I think this is really good. They're increasing the shield, so maybe you can run around and like get reses. Imagine in Trials and you're using the shield, or you have a better shield, you can just run and res people. That could be really good, and having it work in the air is also really good. And of course we have the Catapult Lift change, where they are giving a faster initial velocity by 5%. That is for all Titans. And lastly, we have a look at Defender Titans. The melee is of course getting the increased range. The super, this is what is super interesting. Super interesting. I'm saying super too much. Ward of Dawn. Recharge grenade and melee abilities on super cast. That is really cool. I never really saw that coming. I didn't expect them to do much to Defender Titans, because they work amazingly in PvE. They're like the best freaking PvE class. But having your grenade and melee abilities recharge whenever you cast your super is awesome. That's awesome. I'm totally okay with that. That's a small little buff to Defender Titans, and I think Defender Titans are in a perfect place for PvE. You wouldn't really want to use them in PvP anyway. You can, but that is really good. That's a good change. I'm happy with that. So that is pretty much it for the changes, guys. In my opinion, I think they're heading in a really good direction. And like I said, if you want to see these graphs in more detail, definitely check out the Bungie.net website, where it has all of this, so you can actually like analyze it and go deep into it and stuff. stuff. For me, I really like these changes. I like that they're actually updating classes. It wasn't something that I ever really thought Bungie would do, but it's really nice seeing that they're doing it. I like it. And I hope they do this for the other classes, like Blade Dancers, I think definitely need to be looked at a little bit. And I think it's just good to just continually update the game. And a game like Destiny where things do change a lot, I think you definitely need to keep updating things. So the nerf for Titans, for the Sunbreakers, I don't think it's bad. It's not going to make them useless, guys. It's not. It's not going to make them useless. You still get your health back every time you kill someone with your hammer, your grenade, or your melee. You're just going to have to be more careful about how you pop your hammer. You're going to have to be aware of people sniping you. You're going to have to be more precise with throwing your hammer. So I think that's totally fine. And buffing strikers is awesome. Like, I personally love playing as a striker titan. I much prefer it over a solar titan. And they're going to be the kings of melee. So we're going to see how much that melee increase actually does to make Titan's melee good. But I'm super excited for strikers. I might actually run a strength intellect build. Maybe? Potentially? I don't know. It's a possibility. But that's it, guys. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about these changes that are coming to Titans. And if you could change anything about the other subclasses, what would it be? I'd be interested. I would personally redo the Blade Dancer super. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's another video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you awesome people later. Bye.